What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Chandler. That's right, you heard it right. After last night's show, we're officially changing the name of the show just to Chandler instead of Composing with Chandler. For one thing, it's a lot more fun to say because I think composing is too many syllables to be enjoyable. And for another thing, it fits way better on the thumbnail. So if you guys like that idea, comment down below. And if you don't like that idea and you want to have a multi-syllabic word on in there instead to describe the show that we're doing with Chandler, you can do that. But here we are tonight on Chandler, Cox and Space podcast, and we're here with our composer Chandler Fleming. What's up, buddy? How are you?
What's going on? I'm doing really good today, actually.
Good. Yeah, really?
Yeah,
What makes
just
today
having
so
a
good?
pretty awesome day. Man, um, I don't know, a big part of it is I've been going through a lot of self-work, I guess, like
Okay.
uh trying to trying to find happiness in different stuff. Oh,
What
hold on, give
is
me a
up,
second.
Aaron Cosbial? Welcome to the program. Tonight we are
Yo,
doing a show called Chandler, and we've just updated everybody that we're officially changing the name of the show to simply Chandler. A show that we not only get together and make music with our buddy from Flamingo, but also that we talk about his life, where he's at, who he is as a person in the Cox and Space project. I figured that might be fun to explore. Tonight we have no
cool.
instruments, so it is just a Chandler show anyway. Glad to see you, buddy. Chandler,
Hello.
are you busy? If you are, stay muted. That's okay. If you were just being polite or something, you're definitely welcome to unmute. But yeah, tonight we figured we would do like a catch up and talk about our lives here. Since a lot of the time we are so focused on making the product, that we forget to like let people know who we are. That's cool with you. Either one of you? Any of us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Is it pretty clear? Because I got you through my Bluetooth
No, you sound
thing
real
on
far
your
away. You sound
car.
like you're driving and cutting in and out.
Oh no. Okay. How about now?
It's still the same, it sounds like.
Okay. All right. One second.
Okay, I got you.
Good.
It works. I mean, we'll have to EQ it when we do the edit of it. But yeah, I was kind of thinking in the same way that last week's episode or 2 weeks ago, we had a perspectives reunion show where we just kind of talked about our lives and where we were and asked each other questions and stuff like that in a very perspective style. So I figured, hey, what if we did something like that with our boy Chandler here, and with ourselves as well, talking about what's been going on. Chandler,
Yeah,
are you
that'd be
back?
cool. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. Are you, so you're saying that today is a really good day. So why is it a really good day for you versus the other days?
My days have been obviously life is full of peaks and valleys, but
True, true.
I don't know. My days have kind of been getting better because I've been just trying to do stuff better, I guess. It
You
sounds
said you're
super
being more,
cliche, but
no, but you're being more mindful, you said. So when you say
yeah,
mindful,
more
what are you being
mindful.
mindful about?
Well, I've been making sure to take a very small microdose every day.
Okay.
That's a big one. And then like the other that sound really small and stupid are waking up earlier and making sure that my bed is made.
That's awesome. I
Mm.
found for me personally, that's a big one too. I'm not exactly sure why, but the ritual of like making my bed before I get out of the room,
It's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
No,
comforting for one,
and
but
then you
also it's
come
like,
home to a made bed.
yeah.
I feel like coming home to a made bed is really good for your mental health for
Well, it
some
just says,
reason. I don't
yeah,
get it,
that
but it makes like it works.
you can't control everything, but you can at least do what you can. You can keep your chin up. You can choose to keep your chin up in the face of situations, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, cool. That's awesome,
No,
man.
actually, that's a good way that you brought it up too. Like you can't. I feel like a lot of my unhappiness in my life has come from like being upset over things that I can't change. But like
100%.
if you focus on the things that you can, that you do have
Sobriety.
power over, like your whole
This,
perspective changes. I feel
sorry,
like.
the Serenity Prayer. Yeah, exactly. You're definitely quoting
Yeah.
that. I was actually referencing, and you guys haven't heard it because you podcast hasn't come out yet, but everyone else in the audience, if they've caught up to the episodes, has. But then I also reference it in the group, but it's the lyrics that Luna sings is that you want to keep your chin up if you want to turn it around. Um,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and just in so and then you just quoted it as like the Serenity Prayer, like to accept the things that you cannot change and have the power to change the
Yeah.
things that you can. And sometimes all it is you can make your bed. Or you can choose, like Aaron Cosbial does, to have an optimistic and hopeful outlook on the situation, even though things don't look great, right?
Right.
Right.
Because if you look at just the things that might probably go wrong, then those things are more likely to go wrong. Like if you don't have hope, then there's less chance of a hopeful outcome.
Right. If you
Very
already
true. Yeah.
have a bad attitude going into your day, is what you're saying, Chandler, is that it's probably going to mess up the rest of your day, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. I
what
think
started you on that?
mindfulness has just what's that?
What started you on that? Like, what was it that you were like, at one point you're like, I need to be more mindful to like take care of my mental health. Like, where did that start for you recently? I mean, it's because it sounds like it's a recent change.
Honestly, yeah, I think I would say it's having a kid probably, but if
Oh,
that's
okay.
over and they'll have a kid and then it's like, you got this cute little baby and stuff, but then, the baby is like a whole ass human, you know, and this years.
Aaron, did
And
you
it's
hear
like
any of
if
that?
if my mental health isn't in check, how am I supposed to like?
We got this summary of your thought, which is that if
Hello?
your mental health isn't in check, then how are you supposed to look after a kid, right?
Yeah, how are you supposed to teach somebody else how to be happy if you can't even be happy?
Right?
Yeah.
A true flaw in parenting.
Um, yeah, right. Like, how are you supposed to? You can't really always watch this kid. You can't be like, oh, you feel like you just can't do it anymore. No, you gotta find ways to stay with that happen from those peaks and valleys. But, if there's somebody that you know you had to do this.
Is that Aaron, is all choppy to you too?
Yeah, I heard nothing.
I gotcha.
I
Yeah, I'm
heard
sorry.
it
Uh,
sounded like the teacher in Peanuts.
yeah, yeah. And I'm sorry, Chandler. It looks like we're still having some connectivity issues with you.
Uh, uh,
Do you happen to have no, I'm sorry. I don't think that's gonna fix the problem. Yeah, because it sounds like, and I know that you're in a place that you're not getting a good signal anyway, because the internet was terrible. Um, how's that? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Um, sweet. Well, that's great. Um, so cool. Aaron, how have you been, man? How would
I've
you
been
feel at
okay.
Crackpots?
It went okay. There was
No. Okay.
uh honestly I just can't wait to be famous because uh six six people stayed from the first show and I was very grateful, and two people came in for my show.
I
So there
gotcha.
was a total of eight people.
Oh, I gotcha. So That's tough, right? Yeah, just playing to an empty room and you're like, yep, this is an hour of me talking to you six people. I'm sure you had fun
Yeah.
with it though. You gave them
Yeah, I did my
everything,
best.
of course.
Uh,
Still.
yeah, I only did like 45 minutes instead of the full hour.
Fair.
Um, but I mean, I had fun doing my stuff on stage. I tried out some stuff too, and that was fun.
Oh, like you had been
Um,
talking with Curtis about, like sometimes you're like, yep, here we are. I'm gonna be
yep.
trying out some bits.
Yeah. I was like, well, I might as well uh try out some jokes while I'm here. And they're just some stuff I've been writing, and yeah, they got a
Okay,
good reception.
that's good. Well, you're like, in the midst of this, like try to make a good show of it, right?
Yeah, yeah, just tried to like talk with the audience, find out what they liked in school, so I could sort of gauge where they were. The first person I asked straight up told me that they hated school.
Okay, that's
uh
fair. Do you have a joke for
no, I don't.
that?
Not that one. Like, if even if they do, like, at least the person next to her said that he liked shop class.
Okay.
So I could at least like talk. I have some car jokes. Um,
Oh, so you want to talk shop with him?
yeah, yeah. So there's that. But the other side, I liked a few other things, and I don't know. I got through it. And it was kind of hard. Uh,
Well, there's no
yeah.
energy in the room, right? So how do you give them energy and they give you energy, right? There's six of them, and one of them's like, no, I will not.
Yeah, it was mostly like me giving them energy, and then more energy, and then them giving me a little energy, and me giving them more energy. Uh, like only one answer for what superpower they would like, and it was flight. Uh,
They wanted to get the F out of there, right?
that was my joke too. Uh,
And they're like, you ain't lying.
yeah. But no, then they talked about how they just like got back from Mexico, and I just like talked with them a bit about like, I don't know, life and stuff, and yeah. There's not going to be any like really great clips to share, I don't think. Um, but
Did you have somebody
I did it.
film or like professionally?
Oh, they
Or
no, they
okay.
have a what's really cool about crackpots is they have these they have a wall with a place where you can put your phone and
Oh,
have it record while like facing the stage.
that's awesome. That's why your
Yeah.
footage from there always looks so good. That makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because I just hit record, and then I just like screenshot some photos of me.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry
Yeah,
that
and I
that
got to
was
do some
that was
time at
close.
the first show to encourage people to stay.
Nice. Okay, good. Also, and you got some people who stay.
Yeah, yeah. I have a new joke about how they're making a second Titanic ship,
Oh
like a
no.
cruise, so that people can go on, and how I
Oh,
would
right. Yeah.
actually be pretty unsatisfied if it didn't sink.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, like, I'm on the Titanic,
Right. I
and
want the
it's
full
just gonna
experience.
be a regular boat. Uh,
Yeah, because otherwise, then it's just a cruise. It's not the
yeah, it
Titanic.
should, like, ideally it's a suicide cruise. Uh,
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. In a country where you can pull that off. Um,
yeah,
like these people are choosing to die and
open
they want to
waters.
go out elegantly.
In, pretty sure international waters, everything's legal, right?
There you
Uh,
go. There you go. Is this part of the joke? Because it is a good bit.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a little bit part of the joke. Uh, yeah, so that's something.
That's the one you tried out last night. All right, yeah, crackpots.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
And I've
pretty good.
got some. I wrote down something that I haven't been able to like uh put out there yet, but I like the concept.
Hmm.
Applying physics to psychology. Um, uh, Mood gravity causes depressions in emotional space.
Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah, that's why you have to keep things lighthearted, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And, and why people say you're a ray
So
of sunshine.
yeah. Also, for workaholics, workahol is made by fermenting work hours that you saved in a bottle
Oh,
and added yeast. Uh,
you leave it in a dark space like your soul, for a
yeah.
few years.
Uh, Depressed stars feel blue.
Oh,
Uh,
jeez. Oh my God. I'm sure they do, man.
yeah. Oh, here's one. Uh, I cut off Leonard Skinner's middle finger so that it's a free bird.
Wow. There's your musical addiction jokes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in
That's where
that
I
set.
put it in the
Yeah.
musical addiction part.
So it's a free bird.
And then I do a little bit of free bird on the kazoo.
A good addition. Of course you should. I'm sure that people
Yeah,
will be requesting Freebird, as
yeah.
you rise in fame.
Yes,
Chandler,
yelling
welcome
it
back to
out
the chat.
like I do everywhere.
How we doing, man?
Yo,
You feeling better?
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, I think I got to a better spot. I apologize about that.
You get in your car and like drive down to the local library or something where the Wi-Fi is free?
Um, yeah, well, I'm driving back to my house right now. But I went through a rough spot there. I should have known better than to go down that back road, but that's okay.
I got you. You are actually driving. That's where you're like,
But
here,
don't
Yeah,
go down the back
let
road.
me
How
put
will you
this
know if
Bluetooth
back
in.
street's back all right?
That's
yeah.
true.
I hit one freaking bar trying to have a conversation.
You're like, can I make it through? No, you cannot.
Yeah,
Um, because the
no,
service doesn't cover this one patch of highway.
yeah, yeah. It was completely nothing. So
Okay, well, good to know. I had a question for you, because I
yeah,
think we've talked about microdosing off the air, but I don't think we've ever talked about it on the air. Do you want to talk about your process with
yeah.
that?
We should definitely talk about it on the air, and everybody should talk about it on the air. But
100%.
it's a game changer, man. And all these rich fucks in Silicon Valley and stuff, that's their little secret. Um,
Is that they're all
but
microdosing?
you know, they do it to get an edge on the competition, and that's why it's, I don't know, it's
So
taboo
there's
or frowned upon or whatever the fuck.
There's a bunch of different types of microdose, because there's a lot of different like psychedelics that you could be taking in small quantities, which is the idea of a microdose. I think you said you're using
It's not,
mushrooms, but
yes, it's
which,
not all mushrooms that they're using. Like a
okay,
lot of them use ketamine and stuff.
that's another one you can
You
microdose.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but I think it could replace. I absolutely think it could replace a ton of these poisonous things that they're putting people on.
And this is something that you've been doing for a while, right? Like a year or more?
Yeah. So off and on, it's been a year, but for the past like 2, 3 months, I've been really taking it more seriously.
Okay.
Because yeah, before it was either like I would either do a huge high dose or I would just not really do them at all. And but I don't know, I've slowly come to realize that uh there's a lot of power in microdosing, and a lot of times when you talk to people that I've talked to about it, they just kind of brush it off like it's nothing. But really, it's an absolute game changer. Like as far as your creative process goes, as if you're lacking motivation and stuff like that. Um, and I think a lot of people turn to marijuana to give them that sense of well-being that everybody's chasing and stuff like that. But really, like, um, just a little microdose can do that for your whole day. It'll be like coffee kind of, but way better, I guess.
So you take like how many milligrams in the morning?
So I take like 0.2 or zero point 0.3 of like a gram of mushrooms
Okay.
in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's all that you take all day. There's no like, you're not like you need to re-up throughout the day. There's no like you have to do it again before
No.
bed.
Yeah.
You don't have any like
No.
craving
For
for
me,
it.
I think the smartest thing to do is take it right when you wake up. That's
Okay.
what works for me because then it works a lot like coffee. You know, you get that initial uh, like I wouldn't say rush, but like
Everything's kind of
energy.
sparkly. Yeah.
Yeah, you get energy, you start to feel good, you're excited about the day instead of being like, oh, I gotta do this and that, like it really helps you have a better attitude when you get out of bed, I feel like.
Okay.
Um, and even just getting out of bed is easier for me because I'm like, man, I can microdose now. I'm awake. Like, fuck yeah.
It's time to do it, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. And yeah, definitely. I got myself a wristwatch. Um, Another thing that sounds silly and small, but like really helps me. It chimes every hour, so instead of just losing track of time with little stuff, I every time I hear that beep, I'm like, oh my god, that's another hour of my life
right,
that
right.
just went by.
So you're like, I need to make some decisions to go do something if I want to be productive, or
Yeah.
like I've been wrapped in this project for now 2 beeps. Maybe I should take a little break.
Yes, exactly.
So I want to ask you. So you said you're microdosing. So you said it's mushrooms that you're doing. And so you have like there's a bunch of different type. Which
For
which
science, of course.
which one?
You put it on your pizza.
No, which type are you using? You're using?
Oh, like which strain?
Yeah, sorry.
So right now I have Golden Teacher,
Okay.
but soon I will have uh, Tidal Wave and Treasure Coast and Amazonian.
Okay. Um,
And I'm gonna kind of experiment and see like which one is the best for microdosing for me.
Right. I got you. So, I mean, obviously, the big concern for a lot of people is that taking even a small dose is going to make the world seem a little bit weird to them. How much do
Mhm.
you notice the difference I mean, like, obviously, there's a mood change, which is the thing that you've been saying the most about. But, like,
Yeah.
just like, do you notice that you need to be careful of things that you might be noticing that aren't there? Or, like, do the walls seem to breathe? Like, what's the noticeable effects, if any?
Well, I kind of go by the rule of if you would describe how you're feeling as high,
Right.
then you took too much.
That's fair. Okay.
Um,
So you really shouldn't be feeling
yeah,
anything except for a slightly elevated mood.
yeah, you should not be seeing visuals. I mean, maybe you'll see. Uh, for me, the colors get bright
Right.
and things get sharp. I can see really well. Like the other day, I could see this plane way up above the clouds, and it was like really tiny and white, but like I could see it, and it looked really sharp and clear to me, and that was super interesting.
Right.
But other than
Like all
that,
this
like not a
museum did.
huge, yeah, like a huge change. I would You kind of get all those like mental health benefits that you get from tripping. Um, like I don't know, the sense of well-being and
Desire to
the
play.
epiphanies.
Yeah.
You get epiphanies and stuff, creativity, all that. But now you can do it because like now you can do everything. You can do something with that now. You're not just like stuck on the floor staring at the ceiling because you can't get up, you're tripping too hard. Um,
Right. So maybe it's the sort of thing that
Yeah.
should be taken on salads on a regular basis, but only as like a little seasoning to help people like
Yes,
microdose
exactly.
and not necessarily a whole handful of them on a weekend when you're trying to like lose your mind.
Right. Yeah. I think there's a time and a place for tripping for sure, but
You
not
mean like heavy duty
all
tripping?
the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You can't get anything done if you're
Uh,
always in that state.
yeah, and I can't tell you how many times I've had amazing ideas on shrooms or acid or whatever. Like, or I'll be playing the guitar and I play something that I think is wicked, and it's like, oh, I'm too fucked up. I can't even start the recording on my phone. Like, I don't know how to breathe anymore. Like,
Don't know how to breathe anymore.
Have you tried in and then out?
Yeah, you would
Mm.
think,
yeah,
but sometimes that operation becomes too scary because you have to think about what is in.
Oh,
right.
I've never
Yeah.
been in, so I have no
Sometimes it
idea.
becomes
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And
sometimes
because,
it becomes voluntary.
yeah, exactly. We have to be like, damn, I've been holding my breath for a long time. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think it's a lot like I think it's a lot like alcohol. You know, like you can have a glass of wine and it'll make you feel nice. Or you could have the whole bottle and you'll be really fucked up and stuff, but you won't be able to accomplish anything.
Right, right. And then that's
You
that's
know,
in the moderation. Yeah.
and that really hit me when I saw an old NASA video the other day. They landed that shit on the moon or whatever, and right after they were like shaking hands, lighting cigars, popping champagne bottles, and it's like, see, that's how you do it. That's how you do alcohol right there. You do something important, and then you let it elevate how you're already feeling, type of thing, and you don't go crazy overboard. Those scientists wouldn't have a job if they were sitting there chugging it all day and being sloshed.
Right, yeah, exactly. You can't
So
stay drunk and work. Um So that is cool. I had one more question for you about the microdosing specifically. Obviously, it's
yeah.
good for creativity and makes like a normal situation feel fun. Um, you seem to be using it as a replacement for any sort of like mood changing drug for like depression or anxiety or something like that, saying that it kind of does all that for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make any recommendations, obviously, but
Well, you're not a
for
doctor, so
this,
you're not
just
capable.
from my experience,
Yeah.
yeah, they said, oh, you should be on a SSRI for depression or whatever, like
Okay, so you've been
anxiety.
told that.
And yes, they did want to put me on one, and I was on it for like maybe 2 months,
Uh,
and I stopped taking it because I didn't like it. I didn't like how it made me feel. Um,
oh,
it just
yes,
felt, I don't, something about it just made me feel off.
right, right.
It
Um,
was like some sort of very artificial feeling in my body that was like making me it feel like I had like a plastic smile on or something. Like, I don't know, just very not a genuine feeling, I guess.
yeah, 100%. I've been offered mood. I don't know if they were like stabilizers or it's been a long time ago. Uh, but because I was struggling and going through some stuff. And
Yeah.
that was the same for me too. Like I was like, oh, cool. I don't feel bad anymore, but I also don't feel like doing anything at all.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you either feel like a zombie or you feel like a little unhinged, like type of like I should feel some sort of emotion about this, but now I can't because I'm on medication
Yeah, yeah,
type of thing.
exactly. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you could interact and you can do things, but yeah,
Mhm.
any sort of response was just like gone. I was like, I
Yeah,
lack
and
ambition. Yeah.
yeah, and comparing the two is crazy because like it doesn't the whatever the shit they put you on, it doesn't give you that sense of accomplishment after you've done something, um, that you would get in a video game, or it doesn't leave you with like a true sense of well-being just from taking the tiniest amount of a mushroom, like
Right.
it's definitely incomparable, I feel like.
100%. Because what you're saying is that it feels like for you, microdosing like just lets you be who you are without the struggle of that mood that was weighing you down, right? It gives
Yes,
you
it can
the
take a
change.
lot of like social anxiety away as well.
Yeah, 100%. I could see that. Um, Yeah, for a long time, I have dealt with social anxiety, just dealing with strangers or interacting with people I don't know or new situations, because everything's so new and overwhelming for me. That yeah, new situations always take me a long time to come around to like even being able to talk to people. But I do
Yeah.
remember taking like a quarter or a half of mushrooms, a half ounce of mushrooms, and then going out and finding New Year's Eve parties to go to that where we didn't know anybody and just went to as many as we could, and had the best time of my life. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, right, because like no worries. I was still capable of functioning and having conversations with people and socializing. Um, like as long as I just continue to breathe through the weird wall movement and their faces warping and stuff like that, being like, okay, it's cool. It's just, I've taken a lot of mushrooms. That's how it's gonna be, but not anxious about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see how that would definitely help. Aaron Cosbill, do you
Yeah,
have a,
it's
sorry?
oh sorry, I was just gonna say it's a lot like that feeling that you could get from like, you go to a social setting and then you have a couple shots and it's like, wow, all of a sudden I feel like I can connect with anybody and I can talk to whoever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that that's a good thing, but in some cases, like it's hard to socialize, for a number of different reasons.
Yeah.
But just to get a balanced look at the situation, Aaron Cosmo, do you have any like morning routines or things that you do throughout the day that helps you switch that point of view to places that you'd rather your mind go?
Um, Mostly just like interacting with people gives me energy. Like a good like one-on-one talk with
God
somebody
damn it, spoken like
is
a true extrovert. Of course you get charged by like talking to people. Like it's not fun for introverts. It's like socially draining. All right. I'm sorry. But fair. Okay. I mean, it's a
like
fair
when I'm
point.
just on my own with my own brain, just sitting there, like I just start to get tired and the coffee, like you'd have to have like 2 cups of coffee before it equaled like what just some time talking to another human being. Uh, so yeah,
That's good, man.
I just yeah I find when I'm alone, I'm just tired and I just want to go to sleep. Because I don't know, there's nothing like I'm just like watching things and I don't feel like I'm very like I'm doing anything when I'm just on my own.
I gotcha.
Uh,
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was talking
and
to
if I am doing stuff,
when you are with people.
no, like if I'm at work and I'm doing stuff, if I'm just like alone and just like listening to stuff, it's just like trying to keep myself awake. Uh,
Oh my God. That does
because
sound.
I mean, I like the fact that what I do, and I'm weird in some ways that it's like if I don't mind doing something monotonous and boring at work
Really?
and getting paid for that
Okay.
because I've done things where it stressed me out or I was busy and I hated that. So like I don't mind being bored because I worked phone customer service
Oh yeah, that's
uh
pretty stressful.
as a
It's like
manager
stupidly
and
stressful.
I got the when people would say, "Let me get my manager on the phone," I
Oh
was
man,
that.
you were that
I
guy.
had to deal with the even angrier people and try to appease them or find out what's actually wrong so that I can even like see if
Oh
I
my
can make them happy.
God.
And some people don't want to be happy.
They just don't want to be happy. Yeah, that's
Very
true.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
you could give them free stuff and they would still, and they would be like, fine. They wouldn't be happy. You just got
Right.
something for free.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, rejoice in
Right.
your blessing, because I
Right.
could just be like, well, we need angry people here. We make a beet supplement. Being so angry, like your blood pressure, like with blood pressure, uh, because of the nitrous oxide, uh, but lower your blood pressure. But apparently, it's not working for them.
Bro, just say no, right?
Yeah, just say no to beets.
Just say no to nitrous oxide.
Yeah, the beet will not go on. Uh, yeah, so I
Dang,
am
yeah.
so
So you
happy because now I get weekends off, I get holidays off, I have vacation time, uh, and I just have to do something mind numbing. And occasionally, I talk to like, if I'm feeling really tired, I'll talk to somebody around me, and I'll get a little bit of energy, so that I can keep doing the mind numbing thing.
the
Um,
mind numbing things.
yeah, because mind numbing is better than angry people. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
but
Um,
also, you do theater kind in your life, music, theater, uh, comedy. All of the jobs are gonna suck.
that's true. All
You
all jobs
realize
are work. That's why they exist.
you realize, oh, creativity exists. If only I could get paid for creativity, then I could live in joy.
Well, it's still gonna be work. That's why it pays so well.
Yeah,
It's because it's really, really hard work. But
yeah. I
eh,
mean, if we could just like write every day,
if we can get
I
ourselves into that place, yeah, that would definitely be a place to keep being hopeful from.
I I would barely consider that work. Uh,
However, I will
like
point
doing,
out the Rick and Morty guys, not Dan Harmon, of course, who was just the structure behind the project. But wow, I've actually forgotten his name, Justin Roiland, um,
Roy,
who so badly wanted to have a show, you know, and he worked so hard to get it, and then as soon as he did, he seemed not to be even happy with it. It seems like, if anything is still
Oh
going to
yeah.
be a joy, when you get there, you have to also, what's the word when you like work within yourself to like have that in yourself, kind of like
to
tending an
have
inner
joy,
garden. What's that?
you have to have it within yourself to have joy. You have to know that you're able
Cultivate.
to
Cultivate's the
feel
word I'm looking
accomplishment.
for.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, and also, I mean, it's like what I've said before about uh, Frankenstein. You have to also love your creation, uh, and keep being involved with your creation. And I think the fact that he pulled away from it made him like spiral.
So, the Frankenstein's monster is not the cadaver that he brought to life. The monstrosity was made when love was withheld from him.
Yeah, yeah. If he had loved the what he created, as he like when I was reading that book, he was loving every second of creation.
Yeah,
But when the thing was created, he looked into its eyes, and was disgusted and ran away. And had he just looked into its eyes with love and understanding that now he has to guide this creature of his own creation like you would any child,
you're right.
then what a man Victor Frankenstein's creation would be.
You think that he would be more of the dancing number in
Oh
sorry,
yeah, way more Young Frankenstein
thank you
than
so much
uh
for helping me out with that reference because it was not I could not get any of the words to come out. So we have to live love and extend love in order to feel it.
you give the love to the thing that you then you get to feel it back. Uh
Yeah,
and that's
I
just
would
gonna I don't know what an upward it'd be an upward spiral, which
falling
we'll ever
falling
talk about.
upwards. Yeah,
An ascent.
so yeah, in a spiraling motion. Uh, yeah, it's that you can't have joy in the places that you go by hoping you'll have it when you get there. It's
Yeah, you
definitely
have to have joy the whole way through.
yeah, it's and that's the only way that you can have joy is by experiencing that love and again extending that love. But like the idea that you're only gonna feel as loved as you are capable of loving, I think is a truism. To the depth that you love is to the ability that you can feel love, right? So when people love
Right.
shallowly because no one loves them, people could be loving them a lot, but you just don't have the depth to feel it because you yourself don't love.
Yeah. I think that's what people need to work on the most. Uh,
Is to take care of
is
other people, to show them care.
is
Um,
is to show love and accept love.
yeah, and I think yeah, people cannot accept love because they don't, again, they don't show it. And I think that once you start showing it, you begin accepting it because you start to see what it is to like extend it and like I guess what it costs. And see, I think you one take advantage of it less, and then two, you begin to like really respect the people who do that, right?
Yeah.
Chandler, is this
Yeah.
like the way that like the motivation that had you like working towards this goal initially, as far as like trying to change your mental health?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I have definitely felt pretty alone a lot in my life, and so
There.
I guess just learning that all humans are basically the same, and all humans feel alone because they essentially are. You come into this world alone, and then you die alone. So like, um,
Yeah, we're
I
trapped
feel
within
like
our own
once,
experience within our brain, right? I think is what you're
yeah,
saying.
once you realize that all people are just grown children, basically, it
Yeah.
a lot of it starts to make sense. You know, like, um, we like our toys just like we did when we were kids. You know, none of that what they call an inner child has really changed. All it is creativity and what do they call it when you're like I guess curiosity.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
if you aren't curious about stuff, then that's on you. I feel like you could never learn everything about the world ever in your lifetime. So if
Yeah.
you're that's one thing that golden teachers taught me when I was like super tripping and playing guitar and stuff. I just kept hearing this phrase in my head like if you're bored, it's your own fault.
Huh.
Um, with like guitar and stuff for me, but that
Right.
really goes for anything. If you're
Right.
bored, it's your own fault. Like there's so much you have the potential to do as a human.
Right.
Curiosity is the love of knowledge.
It
Yes.
is, right? And that's definitely a way to extend that love is like when you like love a topic, you delve into it as much as you can to get to know it as good as possible.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think people as kids a lot of times get told that their ideas are unrealistic or stupid or whatever,
Right.
just because their parents tired from their day-to-day job and they just want them to shut up so they can go to sleep,
Right.
do it again tomorrow and like
Right.
so a lot of that curiosity gets completely shut down in our society. Um for I mean obviously for a reason probably, but it's just
Well, I
sad to
mean,
me
yeah,
like
it's the society is geared that way because you don't want need a
yeah.
bunch of individual thinkers. You need a bunch of people will be cogs in the machine in order to purchase merchandise. That's what you need. You need very few free
Yeah,
thinkers who can produce
right.
stuff, and then the rest people just need to like quietly spend their money.
You need yeah, you need more consumers than producers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100.
that's a very interesting thought.
100%. Yeah, I didn't put in exactly those words, but that is kind of the idea. And it should only be according to the people in power, the people in power. That's who it should be according to them.
Yes.
So, since we only need a few of them, once you let us take care of that for you, you can just,
Yeah.
build the stuff we need you to make and be
Right.
happy that we're giving you this garbage to laugh at, right?
Because it's so easy to get.
Right, yeah, exactly. You can just take the garbage. It's easy to get. Now, did you mention earlier that as you were dosing, you were in therapy and that's why you started thinking about it, or you said it was a type of therapy?
No, it ended up kind of replacing therapy. Well, okay, music ended up replacing therapy for me.
Okay.
Um, uh, I would say microdosing just helped me realize what I needed to do. As you know, at the end of the day, no therapist. I think it's very helpful to have somebody to talk to, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, they're being paid to listen to you, and so whether or not they're being genuine doesn't really matter. It's
Right.
like, can you really trust them? Can you trust anybody except for yourself? What is a
And
man without his word
can you even trust
type of
yourself?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Um.
those are fair questions.
So yeah, I think that's a lot of it is just learning to trust yourself. It's like, okay, nobody really gives a shit, but like I give a shit, so that's something. I'm an apparatus that the universe is viewing itself through. So if I see it and I like it, then it matters.
Right, right. It matters enough that you're the one who sees it in order to
And
interact with
it's
the world.
yeah, it's kind of the same thing, like breaking out of that consumeristic mindset where it's like, oh, nobody else cares about it, so it doesn't matter. That's old news or that's stupid or whatever. Um,
The only thing that's good news and
yeah,
that we want to talk about is what's popular now, right?
right, exactly. And unfortunately, a lot of what's popular is negative. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
we're actually
it's
having
kind of
that
where we're
com
headed there.
that's what we were talking about last night with Curtis also is that he was
Yeah,
saying that his negative videos are the ones that were selling the best, and I think it was no shock to anybody during that conversation to hear that. Of course it
yeah.
does,
Well,
right?
that's why people like the critical drinker and Star Wars theory and all them, like they get millions of views just from shitting on every single new movie that comes out, whether
Right, being
it's
like Star Wars is crap, and they'd be like, I agree with you,
yeah.
and that's the
Well,
collective hate.
and a
Yeah,
lot of them, the thing is, a lot of them got their start when The Last Jedi came out, which was like a pretty terrible movie that
that
everybody agreed was bad.
yeah. I
So
think even the people who made the movie have agreed that it was a bad movie. I
yeah,
mean, I don't have
and
any
so
quotations. I wish I
they
did,
got
but
popular. They got a big following when that came out because everybody was making those videos and like getting their channels were getting huge.
right.
But what do you do after that? You still gotta get that audience what they want to see. So they just start shitting on every single movie that comes out.
Yeah, rage
And
bait.
yeah, I did a
Everyone loves
test
rage
too.
bait.
I tried to find because I realized I fell into the trap of like watching those and then not even giving things a chance just because my favorite YouTuber said that it was a shit movie.
Right?
Um,
Like,
and so I did a test. I went through like their whole thing, their whole history of all the videos they've made. You can't find a single positive one. Like very rarely will you find something saying like, "Oh
oh,
yeah, I like this," or like,
guys, I'm not trying to
it's
dog
just
on other YouTubers or podcasters or anything like that. But if you do go through their titles and you find out that they're all negative, you should stop listening to that person because they don't have a healthy
yeah,
mindset. Um, So
Yeah.
comment down below if you want to fight about it, I guess, if you're that type of person who wants to fight about something like that. But like, I mean, you can if you want to. That's fine.
Please fight about it. We need
Yeah,
comments on the video.
that sort
Yeah.
of thing would be hilarious. You want to fight
Come on,
about
which
how
one do you
not
first?
everyone wants to fight about things. But yeah, no, right? Like you should just be aware of the kind of content you're consuming because that really does affect your mental health. Um,
Yes.
if you're listening to, guys who have leanings towards white supremacy, or you're leaning towards guys who are misogynistic, even if they're just joking about it, the more that you listen to those people, the more you want to behave like those people, and you perpetuate their ideas, their stereotypes, because they're who you listen to all the time.
Yeah, same thing goes for music, especially if you listen to it on repeat. Like that's
Sure.
literally programming your brain.
It really is. I mean, it's the chemical release. At first,
Yeah.
it's the strongest, but then you just create those pathways where it keeps going through. Yeah, right. So if you're not
Yeah.
listening to uplifting music, or you're listening to stuff that does have negative beats, even if the artists don't even mean those lyrics, like they're just being edgy, but like if you're taking them
No,
personally,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and are living through that experience because of what you're hearing, yeah, you
Yeah.
should definitely be careful of that. I
And yeah,
noticed that.
I'm not shitting on any YouTuber or anything. I don't knock the hustle, but I just
No,
I think people need to be wary of. We were talking about mental health, so people should definitely be wary of like falling into that trap. It
for
was of
sure.
course
Like,
mentioned last night, but in a different way.
and here's the thing is that rage bait is absolutely a selling point right now. And I think that we're
Yeah.
all getting tired of it because it's become such a
Yeah, I
cliche
hope so.
thing. Yeah, and that people are just being angry about stuff all the time. The only thing that's
Yeah.
truly counterculture, this is a quote from Aaron Cosbial, is positivity. Like having hope and desiring to see good things. And actually, I think he sent me a video, Aaron sent me a video that James Gunn was saying that too. Like the most like punk
Yeah.
thing you can do right now is to like stand up for
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, the theme of the new Superman movie is kindness is punk rock.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's revolutionary to be that way. And that's
Yeah.
like one of the big things for us here on Cox and Space is to be a part of that as well. Yeah. So, right. Yeah, we're definitely not trying to create beef with any of the community that's done that because yeah, obviously, farming like that is a way to get views. Um,
Yeah.
but
I don't knock the
also
hustle, but
no, but also it's
I
bad
just
for
think
people's
people are
mental health,
easily.
and people should be making that choice so that they don't support that kind of thing personally because they make healthier choices to watch
Yeah.
like kitten videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can watch a dude shit on a movie for 45 minutes, or you can watch kitten videos for 45 minutes. And I'm sure at the end of it, your mental health's gonna be better for the kitten videos.
Yeah. Love the kitten video.
Seriously, I
Kitten
mean,
videos
I
are
love me a
much
good
more
kitten
wholesome.
video. If y'all look at my Instagram at some point, from my point of view, like all the stuff that it is, it's mostly cat pictures. I I love my
Yeah, I've seen
Instagram
it.
to be full
It's
of
very
cat
wholesome.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't mean
Yeah,
like
I
my
love it.
my channel, but just like the people that I'm subscribed to and I'm following. It's changed a little bit since we started, working with more comedians. It's become more of that now, but yeah, I definitely need to up my cat
Yeah.
quota because I've been missing out on that. So sorry. It's good for your mental health, is what I'm saying. Like if you're doom scrolling and you come across kitties, I mean, you just hijacked the doom scroll into your favor. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm just throwing that out
And
there
then it's in your
as
algorithm.
small steps. Yeah. And then you have to stay on those cat photos for a while so it makes sure it does support it. And that it will keep bringing you cat photos because it knows that's what you like.
Yeah.
And then you'll
Uh,
see Doom posts and you'll see cat posts.
right. Well, yeah, yeah. You can doom scroll. You have your comedians talking about, the terrifying things that the future holds, and then cat pictures. So that was my feed a little while ago. And I don't know if you're friends with Jenna Friedman, but she just got her TED Talk released. So I got to watch that.
Ooh.
It's, of course, very funny because she's a very talented comedian. Um, but yeah, and then it was surrounded by cat pictures on my timeline. So, yeah, good times,
Mm.
good times.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
So
So
guys,
what about you, Skip? What's
what's up, buddy?
your like MO for your mental health? What do you try to do?
Oh, holy cow. Wow, this is so weird having the flash turned on me. I feel like I'm all exposed and stuff. Generally, if I'm prying in people's business, then I can remain anonymous. Um, the make the bed thing's a big one for me, for
Yeah,
sure. That one was that, like, so it started when I was at the mission. I was in a shelter, and I was there as part of a rehab program for 6 years. We talked about it on some of these shows before. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, so they insisted that we make our beds, and they insisted for the that it was a good like mental health thing. And it was super weird and culty. But it was like one of the rules. Like if you didn't make your bed, it'd be one of the things that would get you like drug tested, like get you sent up to the front office, like you'd be in serious trouble if you didn't make your bed. Seriously, like, and it was like throughout the day. So if you slept on your bed and then you got up, you need to make sure your bed was made. So kind of it's been
yeah,
drilled into me, you know what I mean? Like a little bit. Uh, but it's
for
a
sure.
nice security thing because it is definitely like, this world, this day may be chaotic, but I made my bed. Like I don't know what the future
Exactly.
holds, but when I come back, bed is going to be just like this again. And it's going to be, I can just like settle into it and it will be fine. Um,
Right.
just as a side note, I will say that to me, especially since I live in such a humid place, I don't think it's a good idea to make your bed right after you get up because of all that moisture that's trapped in the sheets. And then you like close that in the
Yeah.
dark and dampness. So actually, I'm kind of against it and a little bit grossed out, but it does make me feel good that it's a case that's that's the case. Also, I have two kitties, which I'm really big
They
fans
talk.
of. Yeah, the cutie and
Mm.
orange boy. And they always wake me up in the morning. So, the cutie, she's kind of a pest, but she always tries to get what she wants. So, when it's time for her to have breakfast, she's going to try everything she can possibly do to try to get me to wake up. Um, which is initially I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you being? But then I like, and like I realized like to the lengths that she'll go to like try to get me up out of bed. It's like hilarious. She's like single-minded for like an hour of just like she'll be like poking me or she'll be like bring over her favorite toy for me to play with her because she knows that that makes me happy. And then if I'm like, that will keep me awake and so I don't fall back asleep. Uh, yeah, like she'll like put her
Awesome.
paw like on my nose, and like she didn't first do it really good. Like she didn't have like really good control of her paws, but she's figured out how to do it. So like it was like she would just like whap it, and I was kept being like, stop, just don't do it. But now she's figured out that since that bothers me, she'll just like put her paw on my nose. So like it doesn't like fall, it's not too, but it's just like enough just to touch me, right? Like she's petting me or something. Um, and
Yeah.
so, yeah, anyway, and then the orange boy will always like lay on my chest while he's trying to wake me up and just purr. And he'll just be like purring, purring, purring. And if I'm like laying on my belly, he'd be on my back and just purring, purring, purring. Um,
Mm.
so those are just great. I mean, like it's not a bad day to wake up to two little creatures who are like super excited that you're around. Um,
Yeah,
and
exactly. That's
I
definitely
do,
good.
yeah, I do have the best cats. When I only had one, she was really clingy and she was really hard to handle because she just needed so much attention. And I was working 11 hours a day, and then I was sleeping for 8 hours, so I had a couple of hours to hang out with her tots. And I was also trying to do creative projects. So she was like, I'm sure she was feeling neglected. And then I got the second cat, and the two of them have just been like great because they love hanging out together, and then they love hanging out wherever I am. And they just both do that. So if I go downstairs, they go downstairs. If I'm upstairs, they're just hanging out and sleeping. And then they take care of each other. So I think those are like two really big things for like mental health for me. I just like starting the day right. Um, like the idea of the microdose, I think is good for people who are trying to like maintain that. And sometimes there's a case where our brains are just really chemically imbalanced and doesn't make the right chemicals. And it could be like they
Yeah.
never did, or it could just be like not anymore. That they don't make those chemicals because we've been this way for so long now. So
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they were broken and maybe they got broken, and it's hard to say. But in the replacing of chemicals that you need, in order to continue to operate and get stuff done and live successfully. I'm really on board for the legalization of microdosing under the supervision of a medical professional, obviously. Um, so, you could monitor your results. You could because some of mental health is behavioral therapy. Like people are making poor choices, mental health choices, and then that makes them feel bad, and so they continue to make more mental health choices, like poor mental health choices, and that continues to make them feel bad. So that like they don't
Yeah.
realize they're in a cycle, and then it continues to perpetuate the cycle. Um,
Right.
so yeah, so anyway, I support those things. And then throughout the day, I guess the thing is just like the realization that, it's a celebration that we're alive at all. And like this whole thing's kind of like a weird mystery. Because none of us understand the beginning or the end, and we're kind of all caught up in the middle of it. And I think that's what
Right.
makes me laugh throughout the day and kind of like keeps me like hanging on. Because it's like, like life is just so weird. That's probably it. It's
Yeah.
looking for the
True.
weird things that happen throughout the day that like keeps me going. Because like there's just if you look for it like every day, there's just stuff that's just like it doesn't make sense. Like if you write about it in fiction, you'd be like, no, that's too weird. But then you see it in reality and you're like, dang, dude, like what? What?
Yeah.
You know?
It's just pure chaos and it never ends.
Yeah, well, there's just so many people and things making independent choices from each other that it makes the just like bizarre things happen. That
Yeah.
you've never seen them again. Um, what type of car is the old police cars like this Crown Vics,
Yeah.
and they're generally
Yeah.
like gangsters will or wannabe gangsters will ride around them, and for some reason they think they're really cool. So
Yeah.
there's this
Yeah.
car that's where I live, in the city that I live in, and it's a Crown Vic, but it's painted like gold and like rapper gold, like shiny and really bright. It's a Crown Vic, and it's got these rims and it's raised. Um, and like like a car that looks like it could jump. That's the type of car that like it has as far as like the system. Anyway, it drives around and I get it to like spy it from time to time while I'm driving around, and it doesn't, like somebody made some choices, some very deliberate choices with that car, and it obviously makes them happy, and so because of that, that makes me happy. That they found this thing that they really enjoy, modifying the crap out of. So, yeah, there. Long answer to your question. Those are the sorts of things that keep me going throughout the day.
Yeah. That was a good answer.
Yeah, great.
It was so many words. Maybe that's why I like try to stay off because no one would get to talk if I kept talking all the time. Let me just do a quick shout out to the people who are listening to this podcast as a big thank you for tuning in and continuing to listen to us night after night, and people who tune in to us on the Discord. Welcome. If you want to check in with us, you obviously can go to coxinspace.com. That's COX in space.com. You can get connected with our Discord, which will get you connected to all the episodes we have here 7 nights a week. You can also get connected with our Facebook, which will get you in touch with Aaron Cosbial, the professor of comedy, professorofcomedy.com. And then he will get you hooked up with where we can use you in the project in voice talent or in animating or illustrating or marketing. We can talk with that. Also, it'll get you connected with our Patreon. And right now on our Patreon, we're showing hidden episodes and episodes that are too spicy for YouTube. So if you want to, you can go check those out. And by supporting us month to month, you can get access to all of those early episodes and then all the content that we can't show here. So check it out. You get to choose how much you pay for that Patreon, and you can stop anytime you want to, and it will continue to fund the show. So we appreciate all you guys who've done that. Shout out to Joe who's done that for us. And back to the show. All right, guys. So after turning the light awkwardly on me in the last segment, so I could share about how I try to stay happy. Um, Aaron, have you ever felt the need to go to therapy?
Um,
Have you had crisis moments in
No.
your life? Okay.
I mean, I've had crisis moments, but they mostly deal with like me helping with other people who I wish therapists. Uh,
I got you. So the crises that you're dealing with is you're the assister. People have come to you with their crises, and you're the one
yeah,
dealing with them.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm not trained for this, but I am around and I am listening and I do care. So,
Right.
so I'm here.
Yeah, yeah, I've been in that situation too. I mean, the cost of healthcare is so expensive that mental health care is considered like a luxury for some reason, which is of course ridiculous because we all have to deal with it. Um, right?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So you think it would be better if people weren't getting so angry that they wanted to shoot things up or, drive their van into crowds or, whatever. I'm not saying that I want to do those things, but just that people in general do. We have a big problem with school shooters, for instance, in America. Um, you think that they would make it more of a priority to have access to mental health care for people so that, these friends that Aaron, you're helping out, you could be like, you know what, I can't help you, but let me get you over to the service that can, and they're going to set you
Yeah,
up and you
that'd be
can talk
great.
to somebody, right? Things like the suicide prevention hotline are great, but they don't let you, they're only dealing with suicide, right? It's not just like, hey, I need someone consistent to talk to. Where can I do that? There's no services available in America to do that. Hey guys, it's Skip from the future. I was just chiming in because, as you guys know, mostly it's time to take a shot because your boy is a dumbass. And since we didn't intend to necessarily talk about mental health as a topic on this podcast, it was sort of like a free range conversation, as most of ours are. So I thought I knew about suicide prevention hotline because I'd kind of looked into it at one point. But again, double shot if you want this because I've actually gone and made an edit. So you guys should take a double shot or whatever it is that you're imbibing for this. But this is what I found out in the meantime because as I was listening through on the edit, I was like, I wonder if that is true. I wonder if I am just a jackass or, if I was correct. I was obviously hoping for the first one, but here's the second one because I want you to know, because I think that this is super important. Listen, the 988 Lifeline, this is from their website. This is Sam hsa.gov. I looked up that, frequently asked questions about the 988 suicide prevention hotline, which is the number, by the way, 988 if you need to call it. This is important to you later, so pay attention. The 988 Lifeline responds to 24/7 calls, chats, and texts from anyone who needs support for suicidal, mental health, and/or substance use crisis, and connects those in need with a counselor who listens and talks through your unique situation to give personal, judgment-free support. There are many reasons that people connect with the 988 Lifeline beyond suicide. Some examples include problems with drug or alcohol use, emotional distress, anxiety, depression, mental illness, loneliness, trauma, bullying, stress, relationship troubles, and just needing someone to talk with. So I extend this to you. If you're in this place that we're talking about right here in the podcast and you need somebody to talk to, you're like, there's nobody I can talk to, it's actually 988 and the service exists or as far as I understand, continues to exist and has not been cut so far. Using a public service gets it more funding because it sees more traffic, which becomes more of a thing that people find needs to support. So reach out. This is the first time I knew this. I wish that I knew this earlier. Because me personally, I have gone through moments in my life, last Christmas, for instance, where I was looking up at my banister and I was like, all I need is a rope because I have this wheelie chair here. And then I could just like sling it around. And I know it's a couple of really good knots that could probably hold my weight. You know what I mean? And so like I was there, but it wasn't normalized enough for me to call the number when I was just like a couple months earlier when I was like, dang, what is going on? Why do I feel so alone? Like I hadn't gotten a cat yet. I was living in this new place on my own with no roommates or anything. I was driving to a job that was so far away that I couldn't hang out with anybody after work because I had to get back and like feed the cats. And then I had just like gotten kicked out of a cult that was just like all the people I knew there and had lived with for almost a decade right, suddenly wouldn't talk to me. And so, like, if I had known that, there was a service to reach out to, um, that would have been money, you know. So I'm hoping that you have this opportunity, that you don't get to that point. Know that you can reach out for anything. You just need someone to listen to you and talk to. And it sounds like they have counselors that are on like rotation, which means you're not necessarily talking to the same person all the time. So you can just, talk to them, because they're not going to judge you. They don't know you, and they're trained, unlike, some of your friends are. So, there's things I've worried about, like, hey, I need mental health. I can't afford mental health, because I can't afford the subscription to the apps to the therapist, but 988 exists. And I do genuinely hope that if you're like listening to this and you're like, oh, like I'm in this place where, like, either I need to make a decision, or like everything's bumming me out, or like I'm just like freaking out, you'll reach out to that number. They haven't paid me to sponsor this. I just, it's a thing that I needed to know, and I think is a thing that you need to know. And thank you for taking this interlude with me, and back to the podcast.
Yeah, there's nothing like long-term help. Like you could pay for a therapist if you have the insurance to do so, or are rich. But it's just not a thing that I feel truly accessible.
It's really not. I mean, like, if you're struggling to pay your health care, it's not including mental health services. I can guarantee you that. Um, but there is this thing that said, that I think is really interesting. One of the reasons that therapy, develops as a field is people they don't feel equipped, like Aaron said, to handle other people's mental health crises. And in the same way that doctors should be dealing with, physical problems, a mental health doctor should be dealing with mental health issues, right? Is kind of in the view. Um, but there's a lot of stuff that we deal with as adults that doesn't necessarily need medical assistance, because it's not necessarily like a break in the mind where it's like fractured, but there's just a lot of struggles that we have that, traditionally people have shared with
And
the people around them.
yeah, and that's what friends are for, friends and family, and
That
like a support. It's important to build a support network, like so you have multiple people that you can go to.
And when we were in
Uh,
like very nuclear families and people were often staying around their families and living in the same area, it was that kind of a natural thing that happened. Like when you lived in the same town for most of your, oh, if not all your life, that's the thing that would happen. Like almost
yeah, I think it was
naturally.
very good for. Yeah, I think it was good for everyone's mental health that when that sort of like we had such close knit
Well,
uh
there's trade-offs, obviously,
family
right?
that
Because
setting.
in that time too, you see a lot of bigotry because people only want to associate with the people that they're similar to or they're comfortable with, right? So there's that, and then you have people who, because of social reasons, they feel like they can't express themselves because everybody around them is going to judge them for who they are, and it's not kind of acceptable. So there's some cultural foibles that we've had, but at the same time, there was a group of people who were around you, right? Uh, from the time that you
Yeah,
were born until the time that you died, you knew most of the people, and we've lost that. I mean, there's been this push for the individual to be the center of attention, and we don't have, now we've gotten ourselves to the place, especially men, I think, where we don't have a network around us, for the most part.
yeah.
Chandler, agree, disagree?
Now every man is an island.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, so this is just an example, right? The shelter that I was in, the population of men that stayed in the shelter was like 6 or 7 times the number of the women who stayed in the shelter. And that was throughout the entire time. Like, just women's services are a lot less than men's services are, because men often struggle to have someone who is going to be able to take them in, or who is looking after them in the same way that women are. So not that they're necessarily like, there's women who are often in bad situations who stay in bad situations because they don't have any other place to go. But that's a kind of a situation that a man wouldn't necessarily even have as an option to them. This is not a poor men conversation, but just kind of like stating the facts that men have a bigger tendency to be isolated in our culture.
Yeah, very
And I do
true.
and I do think it's okay to talk about it. I think there's also a fear of talking about men's mental health because we don't want we have to man up and take it and
Yeah,
not
it's
talk
interesting,
about
right? You
it.
have to use
And
the word man up to even
uh,
talk about how we're supposed to deal with the situation.
yeah, and like we fear talking about it at all because
Well,
we'll
so
be seen as weak or as uh, uh, like when you mentioned like you don't want to like poor men, but also we should say like sometimes poor men like
well, I
we're
mean,
like
it's like poor
could
people. Like
there
people are in
we are it's
situations, and men
okay
aren't unique in that. I'm sure
like
when we
everybody
feel
has
isolated.
struggles, but also yeah we do like we have struggles.
So this is the point that I was kind of driving at, and to like highlight what you just said, right? That we do have struggles, is that in a culture where people have like a friend and family network that's around them all the time, even a single man has people that he connects with on a regular basis, so he can have conversations, so they can have meals together, so they can show affection to each other in a safe like place that's non-sexual. You know what I'm saying? But like in the culture that we have in America now it exists that couples are able to show intimacy and some friend groups are able to show intimacy. But once you're a single man who's on the outside of that, especially since we have like a network of people that are on the internet and not in actual places, they can be like months where you won't legit talk to anybody, like actually talk to anybody. And sometimes years you go without actually having physical contact with another person. Um, those are just
Oh
things that
hey,
weird, right?
we should start microdosing human interaction.
I
Yes.
think that we should. I mean, one of the reasons that I've enjoyed working in like jobs with customers is basically that microdosing human interaction. Because at least for that 10 or 15 minutes, we can pretend to be friends with each other. And I can pretend that they're the coolest person and they can pretend that I'm the coolest person. And then we can go about our days without, necessarily having to like, it's just less lonely, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I've met cool people like interacting when I worked at like Kroger and I was interacting with random strangers every day who'd come into the grocery store.
Right.
Like I just, you meet cool people every so often that you just like click with somehow for some reason.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, and working at the bike shop, it was totally like that. Like that was, I was meeting cyclists and I love to bike too, so like we definitely had things in common. But yeah, it's just it can be really easy, especially now, of an online society and a very like every individual to themselves, to like have human connection, and so that's where I think like these feelings of anxiety and depression come from, is because we're not meant to be raised like animals in cages with no stimulus. We really need
yeah.
the drama and the connection that makes life living. You know what I mean? Uh, of course, Chandler, you have Jasper, right? And he's
Yeah.
always up to something. And you're like, and he's motivating me to like want to take better care of myself so I can continue to take care of him,
Yeah.
right? Like, even though you're a single man, and I know that I think you're living with somebody who said um, that you're picking that little dude up, carrying him around, changing diapers, feeding him, getting him washed up. So you're also coming in contact with another person too.
Right.
So
Yeah, and like being in charge of every single thing that, you know, and if I don't do it, nobody will, you know?
I know he will. Yeah, exactly. Make sure he does everything he needs to. Jeez. Oh man, such a big responsibility. Number one reason why I haven't had kids is I'm just like, dude, if I don't do it, nobody will. I don't think you should trust me with that. I have a tendency not to do things,
Right?
so sometimes I just won't. Um, so,
Yeah, it's definitely been like a learning curve too, you know. You go from I went from like having no responsibilities to like having all responsibility for a whole nother life, you know.
right.
It's pretty mind blowing.
Yeah, that
Um,
definitely is. It will change your whole perspective uh, on the world.
yeah,
You had a continuing
yeah,
thought.
and then you know like some of the things that were like I didn't like as a kid, like rules or like stuff like that, makes a lot more sense now that I've had one.
You're like, actually,
Or
yeah,
like
exactly.
you know like certain frustrations, like it all makes sense now.
Yeah, now, right, like it's more understandable why my parents were upset is because they were really stressed out because there was too many people living in the house and we were trying to figure out how to make that work. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true for everybody, but like just extra people around means extra mouths to feed, means extra school supplies, means extra clothes,
extra noise all the
extra
time.
noise all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're just trying to relax, yeah, a 2-year-old running around screaming, um, well,
Well,
it's gonna
yeah,
upset your plans
it's had
real
to
quick.
it's made me have to like compromise on stuff. You know, I gotta if I want to do record anything or you know, I gotta set aside time to do stuff. Um, which is another thing. It's not like I it helps me not put things off because I'm like, no, I gotta do it at this time. I can't just say,
Yeah,
oh, I'll get around to it.
Right?
there
Yeah,
is no other
exactly. Because
time.
sorry,
there,
there is there
oh,
is
I
no
said,
other time.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean facts though, right? So what are you gonna do? Guys, we are in the last 10 minutes of the show, uh, which means we're going to start wrapping it up. It's really interesting a conversation that we've been having. I don't think we've had this conversation about mental health, um, but I think Aaron said it. It's a very necessary thing to notice because I think we become aware of it as humans that stuff going on inside our head is important to deal with and we have some more knowledge than we have had in past generations. And I think it's important for us to focus on it as much as physical health.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true.
Just check in every so often. Yeah. Make sure we're doing
Well,
okay.
because the individuals are what makes up society. You know what I mean? Like if we are, and this is how I feel about mostly everything. Like if we're starving our population, if we're keeping them collectively dumb, right? If we're not helping their mental health, you're gonna have struggles all across the board. But if we're building a society where people consistently have food and they can live without anxiety of like, how am I going to pay my bills and, how am I going to keep a roof over my head? And if we take
Yeah,
care of that, then we can also start dealing with mental health. If we make it accessible for people because it's affordable, then people can have the fact that they're able to talk to someone else and just like even as just as a sounding board um, to hear what they're saying. Now, obviously, Chandler, as you pointed out, not every therapist is there for any other reason but to make money, which is fine. People got to make money. But, if those jobs were well paid, or, paid so that they could pay their bills, you might be attracting the people who would do it because that's what they prefer to do, that they want to listen and care
yeah,
to people.
yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
being able to do that and make a living off of it is like a win-win.
Right. If jobs are ones that like a job you get is something that can pay your bills and keep your food in your house and a roof over your head, uh, then people will begin to choose the things that they want to do,
Yeah,
stop pursuing the things that they're like, well, I can't be a therapist because it doesn't pay well enough, or people are like, I am a therapist, even though it doesn't pay very well, but this is what I've got my degree in, and I've got to pay off my bills in order to choose to do anything else, which is the situation that
Yeah.
people find themselves in.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so, so crucial because mental health is the reason for school shootings. Mental health is the reason for suicide. Mental health is the reason for murders and for uh, child abuse is because people aren't handling their mental health well and they're under a lot of stress, and that stress always has to go somewhere. And if you don't know how to handle your mental health well, then of course those things are going to keep coming up. I mean, domestic violence is another example of ways that when people's mental health goes wrong, all the other things that go with it. Um, how many cops are called out to houses every night because of domestic violence issues that are actually a mental health crisis and not like a legal issue? Now, maybe
Right.
someone's gotten hit, or it's keeping the other people up, but like if it's consistent, you're going to that house every week on Friday when they get paid, then there's something else going on that needs to be addressed. Which is, that some of the people in there are not, they're not living in healthy ways in their mind. Obviously, you can't force anybody,
Yeah.
but they don't have the options available. They can't take them.
Yeah.
Very
That was
true.
a downer. Yeah, you guys feeling good about mental health because the world's in absolute chaos and we've got to do something about it, and the responsibility falls on us. Are you? Are you?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean, the responsibility falls on like everyone who realizes that it's a problem, and it's got to be on all of us.
Yeah, exactly. Like but like it's not on all of us in the way that somebody's going to do it, which means nobody's going to do it. It falls on somebody in a
Yeah.
way that it falls on all of us to take care of our mental health and be looking out for our friends who seem to be struggling, because nobody else is there to do it. It's you. You're the part of the universe that's noticing it. So it's your responsibility to
Yeah,
do something
exactly.
about it. You know.
That's kind of exactly what I was getting at, like from the beginning. Like if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't be that change that everybody wants, you know?
Right, right. If you don't take care of yourself, you're incapable of taking care of anyone else. And that is
Yeah,
100% the point that you made at the very beginning. Like the reason you want to get it back on track, the reason you want to be able to be like a dependable person is so your kid can count on you when it comes down to
yeah.
it, which is really, really important.
Heck yeah.
Heck, heck yeah. Uh, Speaking of things that are important, the cat is now clawing my chair because she thinks it's time for this call to be over. She's decided
Yeah.
uh, that, you know, the podcast should come to a conclusion because she's ready for bed. It's bedtime
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, I do gotta go, guys, so maybe it is a good
Same,
time.
and it is, and we're
Yeah.
right at the time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But it's only because the cat's dictated and you have places to go. But I do
Yes.
want to say thank you
The
to both you
the
guys for
cat
being
said
here.
so.
Yeah, and we're closing out because the cat said so. A big shout out to and thank you to our fans who are watching. That you guys are here with us for watching the Cox and Space progress. We are going to get more progress this week going forward. We're going to continue to work on Luna as a sketch, and then I'll work on the music next week when Chandler has everything back together. So we're excited for that. It's always good to have a little
Hell
lull
yeah.
where we can just chat and catch up because we get so wrapped up in the go, go, go of the project.
Yeah.
All
Well, buddy,
right.
it's
Well, good
yeah,
night, everyone.
yeah, good night to
All
everyone,
right, boys. Yeah.
and thank you again, guys, for tuning
Good
in.
talking to you again.
Yeah, you too.